This is Harry. We generously ask that you like and subscribe to make Harry happy. Harry is wearing Meta's new smart AI glasses, which I got about 2 days ago and have been using continuously ever since. I've been waiting a month to get these glasses, and honestly I feel like I enjoyed them more than I thought I would. There are a few drawbacks still, and I'll tell you all about them, but so much did excite me about using them, as well as the potential that they represent in terms of the future of technology, the future of our interactions with the digital world, if that makes sense. Some of you may know, some of you may not, but this is a collaboration between Meta and Ray-Ban, and the price of these is about £300, $300, which honestly isn't that bad considering as well that they're Ray-Bans, because most of the Ray-Bans that you get, or like, you know, the average price of Ray-Bans sit around that £300 mark, probably a little bit under, but you're going to find many Ray-Bans which are way more expensive than this, so it's not too bad. Also, for those of you who didn't know, Ray-Ban released the Ray-Ban Stories 2 years ago in 2021, which is a similar version to this but without the Meta AI. So it had the speakers, it had the cameras, and that was kind of the extent of it. But now the glasses have been made smarter, if that makes sense, because you now have an AI that you can talk to and interact with, which can also see what you can see, so you can ask it questions about what you're looking at. The unboxing was quite basic and straightforward. It came with a QR code which you scanned, which took you to the App Store and showed you the app that you needed, which is called Meta View. This is the app that you use to kind of connect to the glasses, control the glasses, download the images and videos that you've taken with the glasses and all that sort of stuff. Now, in terms of the case, which does look so f***ing good by the way, it's got a little USB-C port on the bottom to charge the case, and then you put the glasses in to charge the glasses when they're in the case. But then when the case runs out, you need to charge the case. But basically it means that you don't need to worry about charging it manually too often. And the case itself is really nice, a very solid protective build but with a leather exterior. And then for the glasses themselves, they do have quite a thick frame, which is obviously to hold all the technology, but these are frame designs which already exist with Ray-Ban. It's the headliner and the Wayfarer. You get to choose between these two. This is the headliner, it's a little bit more round, and then the Wayfarer is a bit more rectangular. In terms of the lenses, you can have them with a prescription or without. You can have them switch to sunglasses in the sunlight or not, up to you. You get lots of flexibility in that. But anyway, putting them on, if you want to take a photo, you press the button once. There's a little flash so that people can see that you're taking a photo for privacy reasons. And then if you want to take a video, just like that, you press and hold for a second, and then the flash stays on for a maximum of 60 seconds because that's the maximum video duration. It does look like it has two cameras for the sake of symmetry, but it is actually only one camera on the left side and then a flash on the right side. Like I said earlier, the idea of the flash is that people know that they're being photoed or videoed, so you don't have the ethical concern of someone recording or taking photos without people knowing. Though I do think it's quite subtle and it should stick out a little bit more than that. I saw on a podcast with Marquez, the point was made that maybe it should be a red flashing light, because that really does show you that something's probably happening that you should know about. Also, for the people wondering, you can just cover the flash and then no one will know. That's not the case. If you do cover the flash, it won't let you take a photo or a video. So that is a good little feature they put in there. But having mentioned all this stuff about the flash and the camera, they do look like very, very normal glasses, and it doesn't stick out to people that it isn't. I mean, no one so far, for me anyway, has noticed without me telling them that they are smart glasses. I didn't give them a lot of time to take notice because I did tell them quite quickly, but they would just say, oh, nice new glasses. They took notice of the glasses, but not the fact that it had two cameras on the front of them. In terms of camera quality, which some people will be very interested in, especially if you're looking to use it in like POV professional video, for example, let me tell you, it really is nothing special. It's not even like, I wouldn't say it's good, it's just the sort of level where the job is done, and the job is done good enough to the point where you can appreciate what's in the video. But in terms of quality, it really isn't good. The stabilization is good, but if you're looking for a good camera, this is definitely not it. An annoying thing as well with it is it doesn't produce landscape videos. Both the photos and videos that it produces are square-like, and then if you're live streaming to Instagram with them, or Facebook I think, which is something you can do, then you get vertical video. So bear that in mind. And something that is quite obvious, but I'll just point it out anyway, is that because the camera is positioned on the left side of the glasses, your video isn't going to be perfectly centered. It's not going to be a perfectly centered POV. It's always going to be shifted ever so slightly to the left. So also just bear that in mind if this is something that matters to you. Now, done talking about the cameras, Possibly my favorite part about these glasses are the speakers. On each side of the glasses there are speakers which are directed straight towards the ear canal. I think some people thought that it was going to use bone conduction, basically meaning that the speakers make your bones vibrate, which produces the sound internally so no one else can hear it. Basically your bone conducts the sound straight to your ears. But that's not the case. They are external speakers which do travel through air first and then get to you because you hear it. But nevertheless, firstly, the sound quality is actually really good, though it does lack bass big time, especially when you turn the volume up. That's when you really start to notice it. Secondly, at around half volume, only you can hear it and no one else can hear it, and you can hear it really well. It's not like it's quiet for you. And then when you start to turn it up to full volume, it kind of sounds like the bleeding that comes from headphones when someone's listening to music from full volume and you can still hear it even though you're not wearing the headphones. But basically the reason I really like these speakers as a feature on the glasses is because of the fact that no one knows when you're listening to music. You're not wearing headphones and it's not obnoxious, it's not rude. You don't get judged for it. You're just kind of enjoying yourself. You got a little bit of background music for yourself that you personally enjoy, but no one else is annoyed by it. No one else knows about it. No one else is judging you for it. And you can still hear everything and participate in whatever conversation. It's just your own little background music. It also makes it easy and quick when you're taking calls. Bear in mind, just so you know, there are 5 microphones around this thing, so you're heard nice and clearly. Also, the 5 microphones are great when it comes to recording video because you get this directional audio where the audio is very clear from all directions, and then when you listen back to the video, you can hear, especially on these speakers, you can hear the voices in the positions that they're in, and it kind of sounds like they're in the room with you when you're replaying the video. It's kind of crazy. There was a point where I was wearing the glasses and I was listening to music in the background quite quietly just so that I could hear it, and then someone on some speakers started turning some music on, and I started to get confused as to whether that was my glasses or whether the music was coming from outside. So the speakers, it kind of, in the right circumstances, makes it difficult to distinguish between the reality and the glasses. So it's quite crazy. I found that quite cool. I mean, for example, there was a video that I was listening to through the glasses and I found someone was talking to the right hand side of me, so I quickly turned my head to see what it was, and then it was like, oh shit, that was in the video, not in real life, because no one was standing there. Having spoke about the speakers, obviously if you're listening to music, you're going to want to be able to control that music kind of without having to use your phone the whole time. So on the right side of the frame, even though it may not look like it, you actually have a touchpad. 1 tap to pause, double tap to skip, 3 taps to go back, swipe forwards to increase the volume, swipe backwards to decrease the volume. You can also use those touch controls to answer and end phone calls as well, which in my opinion I think is a super clean way to add controls. However, it does make you look like a little bit of a crazy person if no one knows that they're smart glasses and you're kind of just tapping them or swiping them in a weird little way. And then also something I want to point out is the fact that the touchpad is very sensitive to the position that you tap it in. So a lot of the time I'll have to do it twice because I got the position a little bit wrong. But then because I did it twice, I try it a 3rd time or something, and then I end up skipping a song by accident. And then, so that, in that sense, it's a little bit annoying. It's maybe something to get used to. I definitely haven't gotten used to it yet, but that's a little bit of a nitpick there. In terms of everything else other than the AI, which I'll talk about in a second, overall, the build quality is obviously really good. It is Ray-Ban. Something, however, is it was really tight out of the box. I don't know if this is normal with all sunglasses, especially if you're ordering them online, but it was really tight. I had to get them loosened because it's starting to hurt my head a little bit. Also, I bought the lenses which switch in the sunlight, but they're not prescription. And I don't know if it was just in my head or not, but I feel like the non-prescription lenses made it slightly blurrier for me. It didn't like keep my sight the same, it just made it worse. Also, they attracted a lot of smudges and it was quite annoying, and they were very reflective. So it didn't have any of those non-reflective anti-smudge features that a lot of places typically add to their lenses. In terms of the case, I did briefly mention how much I liked it. It's subtle in the sense that it looks like all the other Ray-Ban cases and it looks really nice, but it's a lot sturdier and it has that little light on it. It's got the USB-C port so it charges quickly, and it looks really nice. The light is used to indicate the battery, and then there's a little button on the back that you can use for pairing. And I really like the case, just a nice little subtle cherry on top kind of thing to make it even better. However, one thing about it is it's quite hard pulling the glasses out of the case, which I don't know, it's a small thing, but it doesn't slide right out. You really got to pull on it, which is a bit annoying. And in terms of the setup and dealing with the Meta Assistant, It's not very user friendly and it's quite confusing, and there's lots of weird little updates that I wanted to do when I started it up. And the way it imports videos and photos to your phone from the glasses is also quite weird because it uses Wi-Fi and not Bluetooth. So if I've got a hotspot on, I need to turn it off in order to import the videos and photos, which was quite annoying. All these little things are a reason that I'm actually really excited to see Apple do something like this, because Apple are really good at refining their experiences. Whether they hold back in giving certain features or not, the features that they do present and put on the table, they refine them really, really well so that they're executed really perfectly. But anyway, in terms of the Meta AI, which is the digital voice that you can talk to while you're wearing these glasses just by saying, "Hey Meta," there's a few things to say. Firstly, the AI currently is only available in the US, which I didn't know before I bought it. In the UK, you still get access to the Hey Meta feature, but it's kind of just more basic commands like, what's the weather like, what time is it, that kind of thing. But in terms of what the AI can actually do, and bear in mind, this isn't based on my personal experience, this is based on what I've seen and understood. If you want to see someone's direct personal experience, there's plenty of other videos on YouTube. But basically the idea of the concept is that it's an AI that can see what you are seeing. So say you look at a building, for example, all you have to be like is, "Hey Meta, what is that building?" And it will tell you what the building is. Or you're looking at a flower, "Hey Meta, what is that flower?" And it'll tell you. Maybe you're looking at like a knot that's been tied, and you're like, "Hey Meta, what is that knot?" And then you could ask it how to tie that knot. So it's that kind of thing where it's this little assistant that sees what you see, that's constantly with you, that only you can hear, and you can ask it questions. So as a concept, I actually think it's quite cool and it's quite useful. And I really want to know how far the AI goes. So for example, if you're looking at a math question with the AI, could you ask it for the answer to the question and maybe even what you need to write down for the working out? I don't know. But that's something that I really do want to see put to the test, that kind of, what are its limitations? So yeah, but anyway, the most important thing for me when it comes to these glasses, the thing that excites me the most is not the product itself, but what it represents. I said this like really briefly previously. Now you might have seen MKBHD talk about this. I promise you I'm not copying him, I have thought this before as well. But what we're seeing here is the beginning of the future of how people interact with the digital world, in the sense of right now we have two products which are kind of on two different ends of the spectrum. You have the Apple Vision Pro, for example, which is a large clunky product that you really have to sit down in a comfortable place and use, and the battery life is limited and it's heavy, and it's not the sort of thing you can be walking around and using, but it's packed with technology to the rim. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum you have glasses like these, which look like normal everyday glasses, and they're packed with as much technology as possible, but the priority is keeping them looking like normal glasses. And eventually, as time passes on, you're going to find that these two product types meet in the middle, where you have something that looks like glasses, just like these, maybe even thinner hopefully, but packed with a similar amount of technology as you find in the Apple Vision Pro. And at that point, that's going to be the point where everyone has one of these, and that will be the new way that everyone interacts with the digital world. You don't need your phone anymore. That's going to be the new way. Instead of swiping and scrolling, the way that you control it is just by looking, by tapping your fingers together, by using your voice, that kind of thing. This is what excites me, and I see this kind of being the new norm in about 10 to 20 years time. But in order for that to be a thing, two things need to happen. Firstly, the technology itself needs to become smaller. Secondly, it needs to become cheaper, because right now the technology that you're getting in a device as large as the Apple Vision Pro is costing about £3,500. Now bear in mind it is Apple and they like to overprice, but still, you know that a product like that costs a lot to make. So this tech needs to become cheaper and smaller before this becomes a reality. So yeah, but other than that, that's kind of everything I have to say on these. I think they're quite cool. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and give this video a like and comment for the sake of the algorithm. Check out my Instagram account at El-Naggar for behind the scenes and updates and seeing what's going to happen. And yeah, that's kind of about it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Salam. Looks nowhere near as good.
Oh my god, it extends. I'm actually gonna marry her.
Double one tap.
I need to concentrate because I don't know where it is. I need
Double
to
tap. Nah, stop removing you. You stop doing that.
I can't do this one, I don't think. What if this gets like and I've changed it so you didn't forget it.
Yeah, because 11111's so easy.
Yeah, this is such a forced conversation.
Shall I add some vaping for an effect?
Don't laugh.
Does it look good?
Yeah, it looks decent. Wait, let's finish it.